Hello everyone, thanks for visiting the channel again. This is again about climate change and its required responses, which is very much required from the mankind to actually respond to the climatic changes, to actually sort out the situation for the future and provide a livable condition for our future generations. So right now it is not happening. So that is why I am sharing few of my findings, which is very relevant to the this cycle of how the humans are actually preparing responses or responding to the uh, situation of the environment and the climate. So it is always based on the feedback, which is either from the planet, from the prophet, from the people. So these are the three ways of getting feedback about the climatic and environmental changes. And this feedback will be now available for the local regulators and the global regulators to actually prepare a response guidelines. So they actually produce a guidelines what are the required steps or the initiative by the humans to actually address the climatic changes. So once these requirements are prepared, these become applicable for the supply chains, especially for the manufacturing supply chains. And because these are one of the main contributor to the global GHG emissions. These supply chains, based on the requirements disclosed by the regulators, prepare a harmonized response or actions or practices or adopt some of the guidelines, which is very important because if two organizations are taking some steps to achieve a common goal, these steps must complement each other rather than cancelling each other's effect. So that is very important, to have a common positioning, common understanding of requirements and prepare the actions or practices or guidelines accordingly. So that is why there are independent organizations available for setting up these practices, guidelines, or helping out in preparing the action plans. These independent organizations sometimes come up with a standard to actually harmonize the responses and the actions required based on the feedback of the climatic changes through this cycle. And to further streamline the process, there are certifying bodies who actually observe the practices or the actions or the initiatives taken as a response to the requirements. So either they certify that these are aligned with the requirements, the actions are aligned with the requirements, or there is a gap which needs to be addressed. These certifying bodies, against some standard, also needs to be accredited by some body. So actually, to keep an eye on these bodies, either they are properly implementing the standards or the standards are properly implemented in the supply chains. These accreditation bodies come into play. But is this cycle is helping us out in addressing the challenges? And apparently it is not. So the main reason is the missing link is this feedback loop is not encountered, is not engaged while standard making or certifying a process. So that is why, to further streamline this taxonomy needs to be developed so that we all agree on the actions, what are the green actions, what are the gray actions, what are the actions which needs to be discouraged. So that is the only way where we can complement each other's effort and actually receive some context or some impact at the global level. One of the very good example is the Montreal Protocol, which is basically on ozone depletion substances, and based on the collective effort globally, the humans have been able to heal the ozone hole. So that is a kind of a global scale success story, which is very much required for this global warming challenges as well. So this is a kind of observation. Sometimes the missing link is the feedback system is not helping to evolve the standards, which is once declared is followed by a lot of GHG contributors. So the main challenge is how we can come up with a truly standardized process of mitigation, which once adopted by a supply chain will translate into the impact where we have a reduction, overall absolute reduction in the GHG emissions. So this was a kind of a observation for my professional working in this area. So thanks a lot for watching this, and hopefully we will be coming up more videos like this in future as well. So thanks a lot.